An Israeli airstrike destroyed a building belonging to Iran's embassy in Damascus, according to Iranian state media. Iran's Revolutionary Guard said one of their senior commanders was among the dead. Israel's military didn't comment, but it's thought to regularly strike Iran-linked targets.
And believe it or not, Israel was under the impression that conducting airstrikes on an Iranian embassy in a foreign country, Syria, in a sovereign country, Syria, was not a provocation or an escalation of war. So they were shocked that Iran wanted to retaliate. And that's not based on my interpretation. It's based on reporting from the New York Times. Let's take a look at their headline, which was, honestly, it takes a lot to shock me these days, but look at the subheadline. Israeli officials say they didn't see a strike on a high-level Iranian target in Syria as a provocation and did not give Washington a heads up about it until right before it happened.
Yeah, Anna, I think that there's a potential second explanation here, that this leak is total BS and that Israel knew that it was going to be a major provocation, wanted it to be a major provocation, but pretended to the United States, oh golly gee, hitting Iran on basically Iranian soil because it's a consulate. I didn't know that was going to be a big deal. And by the way, note that they gave the Americans a heads up, but only minutes before the strike. And they said at that point, oh, we didn't know it was going to be a big deal. Well, why did you tell America? They flipped out. America said, don't do it. They did it anyway. So I'm not sure that I believe that it might be true that what what New York Times is reporting, which is that they think they're so above the law that they get to hit foreign governments anywhere they want, bomb any country they want. That sounds plausible.
I do think that. I actually have that interpretation of this.
But remember, the second interpretation is enormously possible too. That there's a lot of BS to pretend to go, oops, did we start a World War III? Well, it doesn't matter. It was all an honest mistake. So America, go fight it for us. Pausing here to deliver some honest truth as we do in our news coverage as well. TYT is facing challenges, guys, as the entire industry is. You know who could make the difference? You. If you hit the join button below, it's gonna make all the difference and keep us in business. We appreciate you, thank you.
Israel's been assassinating physicists in Iran.
Yeah.
Okay, on their soil.
But they don't admit it, that's the difference.
Oh, okay, I wonder who it could be, gee. No,
I know.
Okay,
but diplomatically,
hold on.
those things matter.
I am bringing that up because Israel has been able to act with impunity. So why wouldn't they think, yeah, we're gonna do a strike on an embassy in Syria, the Iranian embassy in Syria. That's not a provocation because they're used to acting with impunity. Let's keep it real. So, hey, look, you're right. Both possibilities are possible, okay? But my interpretation was a little different. Let me give you more details about it. So, Israel also, again, did not let the United States know about the strike until moments before it was carried out. The US was caught off guard. According to the Times, aides quickly alerted Jake Sullivan, President Biden's national security advisor, John Feiner, the deputy national security advisor, Brett McGurk, Biden's Middle East coordinator, and others who saw the strike. Saw that the strike could have serious consequences, a US official said. Publicly, US officials voiced support for Israel, but privately, they expressed anger that it would take such aggressive action against Iran without consulting Washington, particularly because of the fact that we have American troops in that area, in the region, and they're concerned that when Iran retaliates, they might target members of our military. So they were concerned about that, and it didn't give them enough time to prepare in order to protect our troops in the region and to ensure that defenses are bolstered for a potential backlash from Iran. Now, while the United States was informed about it at the very last moment, Israel had apparently been planning this attack for 2 months. A week before the attack on Iran's embassy, the Israeli war cabinet approved the operation. Israel miscalculated and thought that Iran would not retaliate, and obviously they did. So Israeli defense records outlined the range of responses from Iran that the Israeli government expected, among them small-scale attacks by proxies and a small-scale attack from Iran. none of the assessments predicted the ferocity of the Iranian response that actually occurred. And the ferocity was that no one was hurt, no buildings were damaged, and multiple countries got together to provide defense of Israel, shooting down missiles, things like that. And by the way, as we had reported earlier this week, Iran made it clear that they were doing it to save face with the people in Iran, with their constituents, with the people there. But at the same time, they didn't want to escalate this to a war, to a full-blown war. From the day of the strike, Iran vowed retaliation both publicly and through diplomatic channels. But it also sent messages privately that it did not want outright war with Israel, and even less so with the United States. And it waited 12 days to attack.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that's a second kind of red flag here. First of all, America doing the usual leak where they're like, publicly, we're backing Israel 100%, and we're gonna send them $26 billion to start this war. But I got news for you, behind the scenes, we were livid. Oof, the things that count are not the money, are not all of our public support, not the vetoes at the UN, not all the ways that we assist them. But man, we wore out our finger wagging at them. And third reason I'm skeptical about the leak is that they're like, well, I mean, Israel hit them, and I guess that's not good. But look at the ferocity of Iran's attack. This was unexpected. I guess we're gonna have to do something here because what a ferocious attack Iran did, which was totally out of line. Again, I might be over extrapolating here, guys, but I'm giving you both sides. Yeah. Either way, what difference does it make? Because America, you finger wag all you like behind the scenes.
This is what's
You're gonna
happening.
help them attack Iran, and you know it, and you're gonna drag us. Look, I gave Biden credit for saying I don't want to participate in offensive actions against Iran. So great, if he sticks with that, wonderful, okay? Facts matter, right? But I'm not interested in their finger wagging behind the scenes.
Okay, so I don't think the United States wants to assist Israel in doing more strikes against Iran or attacking Iran. And the reason why I say that is because it appears that the Biden administration has made a deal with the devil. And while Biden originally said that he was 100% against Israel doing a ground invasion into Rafah, where at this point, over 1 million displaced Palestinians are in this tiny, tiny piece of land at the southern border with Egypt, this little area called Rafah, right? And so Israel conducting a ground operation there, attacking Rafah would obviously lead to many civilian casualties. And so Biden was totally against that until this Israel situation, the Iran escalation came up. And it seems as though Biden is willing to allow Israel to do the ground invasion into Rafah as long as they don't do another strike in Israel, in Iran. And by the way, there's no guarantee that Netanyahu and that unhinged Israeli government wouldn't also continue doing strikes against Iran. So I think both things are gonna happen.
Yeah, so again, they're slightly different interpretations, but I understand exactly what Anna's saying. But look, first of all, even before I get to the other interpretation, look at what we're doing. The United States, which is now trying to rush $26 billion to Israel, is negotiating with Israel. How much are you going to disagree with us and defy us? Can you please just do one thing we asked for, not bomb Iran? Then of course, sir, yes, Netanyahu, sir, of course you can invade Rafah and kill as many Palestinians as you like and do all the damage that I pretend to be against because hey, Michigan, I really care about Palestinian lives. Wink, Joe Biden, okay? Look, guys, you can disagree with my style and you can say you're mad at me, but the proof's in the pudding. So now they're gonna go obliterate Rafah and Biden's giving a green light to it. And after we send the $26 billion, do you think Netanyahu's gonna be like, oh, to be fair, I made a promise to Biden? No, he's gonna go out publicly, he's gonna say, yeah, goddamn right I did Rafah, and goddamn right I bombed Iran. America, go, I order you. And look guys, be honest, has Biden ever defied Netanyahu? No, I'm not interested in words. I'm not interested in what he said in a phone call or any sternly written letters. Has he taken $1 away from Israel? Has he done one thing that Israel disagrees with? No. So who's the boss here? Who's the boss? Obviously Netanyahu's the boss. So all this is just, they're gonna do whatever they want.
And by the way, look, even the Times is reporting that Israel seems pretty hell-bent on conducting retaliatory strikes against Iran after Iran did retaliatory strikes against Israel. And so Dana Stroll, who is a former top Middle East policy official at the Pentagon, says that the question now is, how does Israel respond in a way to prevent Iran from rewriting the rules of the game without provoking a new cycle of state-on-state violence?
What do you mean rewriting the rules?
Okay, let me just finish presenting this. So
okay.
Israel is also likely, and this is according to Times reporting, apparently they've agreed, there's some sort of like verbal agreement, I'm unsure, but Netanyahu has talked to Biden and has apparently agreed to avoid doing a strike until after Passover.
Wow, what a big agreement.
Yep.
So this giant agreement is, yes, you can devastate Rafah, kill as many Palestinians as you like. I'll send you $26 billion gift to do that. And then don't bomb Iran until your holiday is passed so that you guys can have fun in your holiday.
Yep.
And then you could bomb them and drag us into World War III.
Passover ends on April 30th, so.
Okay, so great. A giant war in the Middle East starts on in May, and then what I'll hear from Democrats from here to the election is, no, Cenk, you have to pretend that Joe Biden cares about Palestinians because Trump is bad. I know Trump is bad. I know Trump is bad. But don't tell me that you're going to send him $26 billion for further genocide and a giant war with almost no checks in it. And then tell me that I have to tell everyone, I have to lie to our audience and tell them Joe Biden's a good guy who cares about Palestinians. He couldn't give a rat's ass about Palestinians. Hey, did the check clear, Joe? I know you got 11.2 million so far from AIPAC. Are you getting more? Are you offended by that? I'm offended a lot more by 1 million starving Palestinians.
Come on, man.
I'm offended a lot more by 25,000 dead women and children. A stadium full of women and children already dead, killed by the IDF with our money. And Joe Biden says, not enough. I'll give you 26 billion. Normally we give him 4 billion a year. Now we're gonna give him 26 billion? You know what that is? That is a giant, that is the largest green light in history. Please, please keep going in exactly the direction that you're going. You don't give somebody $26 billion and then think that, oh, this is not a green light. It's definitely a green light for the giant war in the Middle East and for genocide of the Palestinians. That's who Joe Biden is.